Yeah, we are. We're standing by. I mean, what a day, right? And in the words of their defense attorney, Mark Garagos, he said that 2025 means freedom for the brothers after getting caught up in politics for years. He talked about finally seeing the pot at the end of the rainbow after 35 years, reducing that to 50 years to life. So they are immediately eligible for parole. But here's the thing. They still have these, I think, several potential pathways out of prison. They have that clemency hearing that is set for June 13th through the governor's office with that request. That's where the board could make that recommendation. Garagos talked about another proceeding where there will be a hearing and a response to a habeas petition. That's there, and now you have this, where they will have to go before a parole board and determine if they are eligible for this, but very emotional and up in court. So Tom Waite, he ran out of that courtroom with these twists and turns after hours of testimony from family members, from a retired judge, from a former inmate and close friend of Eric and Lyle, all vouching for their release, and it happened.
Right, and really what just made this day so intense, in addition to what you're talking about, is we heard from the brothers. And now, of course, they were not in the courtroom. They were appearing by video link, but it was very, very emotional in that courtroom. I mean, you could hear the family crying, and in between the sniffles, it was dead silence. The only thing you could hear was Lyle talking. I mean, it was, you know, from the words he used, you know, I did this, I killed my parents, I reloaded the gun. You know, he went through methodically talking about the crime scene, talking about feeling the responsibility of doing it, and really saying, you know, I'm sorry, I should have handled myself differently. I should have trusted the police. I should have gone to them for help. This is not how I should have handled my situation. And which is interesting because this was one of the big cruxes of the prosecution's argument against resentencing. They said the brothers should not be resentenced because they did not take responsibility for these crimes. From what I heard in court, it did appear to me that those words were very clear, that they did take responsibility. Now, we do also have, you know, the attorneys talking about this right outside of court, Jasmine, you know, obviously exulting in this victory. Let's take a quick listen.
I just know that on a day like today, that redemption is possible. And to those you saw X-rated talk today, you saw kind of the ridiculous nature of the cross-examination. You can turn anything on its head. The fact is, the Menendez brothers have done remarkable work, and today is a great day after 35 years.
But ultimately, we are here today with this result because of Eric and Lyle, because they chose to live their lives with clarity and a purpose of service that the judge was impressed by. And so a huge thanks to them, too, for being the kind of people that we could bring home.
I mean, Garagos had pointed out that these brothers had no hope for decades. Right. And then they finally had that 2023 petition filed.
And you know what? Eric talked about that in his speech to the court, saying, this sentence broke me. I was hollowed out. I had no hope. I became self-destructive. I didn't want to live anymore, basically was what he was saying. He felt he had no purpose in life. That was what he said during his sort of testimony there at the end. It was interesting. His signal died, and they had to stop the proceedings for about 5 minutes. The prosecution asked if they could ask questions of the brothers, and the judge denied them. The judge said, you know what, I'm handling this like I'm handling any other case like this with this statute. You know, the statute being the thing that allows him to resentence.
Well, that's interesting because in the beginning they had argued whether they could be cross-examined by the prosecution, so the judge determined they could not.
Right, and then it was just, of course, that hugely dramatic moment when the judge issued his ruling, and he said, you know, I thought about this a lot. I've listened to all of these arguments. Yes, this was a horrific crime, as I've been stating, that, you know, it's deeply shocking. But he also said a big turning point for him was not only the brothers changing their lives and the rehabilitation that he said was very clear during their 35 years in jail and prison. He said letters from Department of Corrections officers. He received a number of those, one of whom was apparently a veteran, 25 years with the department, has never written a letter letter of support for anyone before, but he did for the brothers, and that was a big turning point, the judge said, very significant in the way that he was forming this ruling.
Yeah, you know, and Pat, as we send it back to you, I mean, you see all the media from around the world gathered here. This is a case that has captivated the world for decades, and now finally hearing this door being opened for the brothers after 35 years. Just pretty incredible to be here and witness that and what Tom saw in the courtroom.
No question about it. If you guys could just stand by, because I have another question I want to ask you, but we do want to welcome our viewers to a special edition of KCAL News at 6 o'clock. You know, we have heard from the defense attorney, we've heard from the family members, and of course the friend who they endearingly call X-Ray, talk about this case and the brothers. Wondering, is there any reaction at all from the prosecution? You know, Hochman, I remember yesterday and even today, talked so much about how he wanted, or how he thought that this resentencing should go, and it certainly did not go in the way that he wanted it to. Have you heard any reaction from him or his team at all?
You know what, Pat, good question. I was just scrolling through. Usually we receive, both Jazz and I received.
We received a news release on retail theft, but nothing yet from the DA's office.
I will say this, and tell me, you were there for the first half of testimony, and I was there for the second half. The second half while I was there, it seemed pretty clear that the judge, the way he was asking questions, it seemed very clear that he was going to resentence the brothers. Obviously, we didn't know what his ruling would be. He said, and that was a dramatic moment where he said, I'm striking the special circumstance off of the original sentence, and I'm sentencing 50 years to life, which means, you know, in legal jargon, essentially they're eligible now. But I don't, what was it like?
Well, here's the thing, and the court began this morning around, it got off to a late start around 10 a.m., and the prosecution, they had the same arguments, and they said that to the judge. This is everything that we have presented before this. We are going to bring up details included in that comprehensive risk assessment report done by the parole board for the clemency request. The judge said, okay, but I don't want to keep hearing about stopping the resentencing. We don't want to keep bringing this up again and again. It's been put to bed.
Did you hear the word? He used the word, the prosecutor, the ADA said insight. The brothers have not expressed insight. Apparently, this is a term that's often used in parole hearings.
Taking responsibility.
Exactly. So, like, why did you do it? And as you said, taking responsibility. It was very, I don't know if this is a prosecutorial strategy, but like you said, it was so repetitive. The prosecutor kept saying over and over again, they haven't taken responsibility. They don't have insight. They haven't taken responsibility.
That's been their argument from the beginning.
And it just was like over and over. And then you get to the brothers testifying, you know, in that very intense and dramatic moment, when they did. I mean, they did say, I should not have done this. I should have gone to the police. This was wrong.
Well, and the prosecutors, they also, throughout the day, throughout the witness testimony, they would ask every family member, the retired judge, the former inmate who took the stand, hey, did you ever hear from the brothers admitting to their lies? Did you hear them talking about the fabricated stories that their mother, Kitty, was going to kill them or that she wanted to poison them? They would bring up these details over and over again, showing, you know, kind of relitigating, and that's what their defense attorney had said, relitigating all the facts of the trial back in the 1990s.
Yeah, and to that point, that was another thing that was brought up in the second half in the afternoon, where Mark Garagos, the defense attorney for the brothers, was saying, look, the 90s was like, basically were warehousing people. They were arresting criminals and locking them up and throwing away the key. And in the case of the Menendez brothers, you know, he said if they were the Menendez sisters, again, we've heard this argument before, the outcome would have been very different if their trial had been in the 90s and they were women.
Well, and I have to mention, and I know we're going to wrap it up and send it back to you, Pat, but he said that this is going to have this change, this decision is going to reverberate throughout the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
This case. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Thanks for that, Jess.
All right.
All
Pat,
right,
we'll send it back to you. Live here from Van Nuys in front of the courthouse. Yep.
Jasmine and Tom, thank you so much for taking us through that. It's as if we were there listening to your excellent analysis and description of what happened in the courthouse today.